The budget enthusiast. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, the budget enthusiast, and today we're gonna talk about No Time to Die, the last Daniel Craig James Bond movie out of what, five. This is the fifth one, and I will say it was a great movie. I got to start off. So if you stop watching it, I understand. But I got to start off by saying this movie was excellent, bro. Like, really good. So since this is the final one, like, all the stakes are there. James has a lot of personal issues going on. So all this stuff is coming to a head at this point. And it's kind of like almost like a direct sequel to, it's a direct sequel to all of them, but I see more bits and pieces from Casino Royale than I see in some of the other ones. Casino Royale and Spectre, if you have watched all of these, then some of the things that they mention you'll pick up on. But all in all, like, the action sequences, there's some stunt work in here that is absolutely astounding. And, like, I know some of it, like, they digitally put Bond's face on a lot of the stunts, but it's well done. Like, you don't, it's not like obvious that it's not Daniel Craig in some instances, but it is, man, the stunt work is amazing. The car chases were amazing. The storyline was really good. I think it wrapped it up quite nicely, like his whole story arc over the movies. Of course, Bond has had plenty of women throughout those few movies, but this one is very personal to him, and all the cast is back. It's really, really, really well done. Now, I know some people don't like. I know a few people. Wildebeest, I know you don't like the Daniel Craig movies. You're coming around, but I know you don't like them. But there are some others that feel the same way, that don't really care for the change in direction that these movies have gone. I feel it was needed. I used to watch a lot of James Bond movies with my Uncle Frank way back in the day. He was a big James Bond fan, so we used to just sit down and watch random James Bond movies. Well, as a kid growing up watching these things, I thought they were cool, but as an adult going back and watching them, they were kind of corny and campy. Like, yeah, some of the things were a little bit outlandish, and that's where the term a Bond villain came from. Like, when you see villains today that are over the top and campy and got weird quirks about them, you always say, oh, that's just like a Bond villain. And, when Daniel Craig's came along, it was a little bit, I guess, more grounded. As grounded as James Bond can be, I would say. He definitely has some over the top moments that no other person could ever survive or do, but he's James Bond, so we all just let it roll. But it's more grounded than some of the Pierce Brosnan and Sean Connery and Roger Moore and that one dude that did like one movie that never was mentioned again. But it's fantastic. This movie is great, and all the Daniel Craig movies, I will have to I have them, but I need to get them on 4K Blu-ray. So that is my next venture. This movie right here really solidified it. So maybe I should wait until they come up with a box set with all of them in it. But man, this was absolutely fantastic. And of course, we saw it in Adobe Theater. It sounded pretty good. I want to hear it at home, because there's some moments where I think just being in a smaller environment will give you more separation. So I want to see those things at home. But all in all, man, fantastic movie. A hell of a way to send my boy Daniel Craig out, man. It was on point. Like I said, story was great. The action was great. The story, the characters, the new. I know this is in the trailer, so I know you probably seen the trailer with the black woman that is also a double agent. Like, yeah, she was pretty dope. She was dope. And My boy Wildebeest said something that was absolutely hilarious, and I will have to repeat it on here. I'm sorry, dude, but it was too funny. He was like, "There's no way that she could be a double agent," and I'm like, "Why?" He said, "Because her booty too big." He said, "Yo, you would see that joint coming from a mile away." And you know what? He ain't lying. There was some scenes, man, like they would show her from a side profile, and that thing sticking out, boy. Ain't no way you can hide or do anything. You can't be stealthy with that booty, dog. It's funny. It's funny. He is absolutely correct. But if they do continue this, or they do make a movie and she is like the new, she did a pretty daggone good job. She was busting heads, shooting guns, tech rolling. She was doing all the dope stuff that James Bond would do, and she's ruthless. So she fits right in with how you're supposed to be. So they didn't do her dirty. They didn't do my boy Bond dirty. I thought they were going to do Bond dirty for a hot second because of the world we live in now. So any white male character has to be erased and replaced by someone else, if you know what I mean. They didn't do that to my boy Bond, because I was going to get really upset, because we've invested a lot of time, it's decades actually, in watching James Bond. So please don't change him now. Keep him the same. Like just don't. Just if you're going to change him, stop the series and just don't do another one. Don't make it 007 James Bond. Make it another spy movie or whatever. Like make another Atomic Blonde if you want to. I don't care. Just don't touch my boy Bond. But he went out with a bang, so that's great. Also, another thing. Speaking of that, I hope that when Tom Cruise stops making the Mission Impossible movies, by the way, are some of my absolute favorite movies ever. Like, that series is one of the best series ever. Consistent greatness throughout all those movies. If they stop it, I would want his send-off to be as dope as Bond's was. Like, I want his final movie to be all out. Like, having this thing 2 hours and 45 minutes, I thought it was like way too long when I looked at it on paper. But going to watch it, it flies by, and it actually needed to be. Like, I'm glad that it was, because they needed to tell the story without taking a bunch of cuts and leaving things like unraveled. So excellent choice. 2 hours and 45 minutes. You're gonna need a lot of time to go see this, but I highly recommend you go see it in the theaters. It is awesome. It is what movies are all about, is how to end a run for a person. Just like Hugh Jackman, Logan was the best way to send him off as Wolverine. Absolute phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. So they did Bond the same way. Perfection. Love it to death. Highly recommend it. Gets the budget enthusiast 2 thumbs up. I can't, if I had more hands, I would do that, but I can't. So just 2 thumbs up. Go check it out as soon as you can. Like, send Bond off the way he should be sent off. And also, go buy those movies if you haven't purchased them yet. Like, that's something that you would want to collect. Like I feel that they are worth collecting. If you like James Bond, don't just stream it. Go out and buy the physical discs, because it's something that we won't see again. Like, his movies are consistently good. Quantum of Solace was the weak link in there, but all in all, each movie was great in its own right, and they deserve to be in someone's collection. So highly recommend it. 2 thumbs up. Everybody go check it out. And as usual, stay safe out there. Peace. The Budget Enthusiast. The Budget Enthusiast. The boy DD. The Budget Enthusiast.